Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today we are going to discuss the four pillars of OOPS concept, or like the four most important implementation of object oriented programming. Okay, so what are those pillars of object oriented programming? Those are encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance and polymorphism. In the previous videos we came across how to create an object and how to create a class and how to invoke a function using the object, right? So uh, it was like a prerequisite for trying for a better understanding of these implementation. So if you don't have like a clear vision or idea of how to create a class or how does the object creation works, please check out my previous video. I will mention the link in the description. Okay, you can check it out from there. Now we will be discussing first what is inheritance. Okay, so inheritance is like the property of one class will be inherited by the other, which is like in real world we inherit some features of our parents, right? So that is called inheritance, right? So in our code also our there will be a parent class and there will be a child class. Okay, so child will be able to inherit the features or some attributes from the parent class, right? Now for example we have a class named dog here. Okay, now this dog has a name and an age. Okay, now what we are doing, this dog can bark. Okay, so we have created a function called bark and we have printed that whatever name we are passing, that dog can bark. Okay, now we have created one class which is like a child class of dog. Means in a dog we have a breed like bulldog, right? So that bulldog can inherit the features of dog, and in if we when we are inheriting, right? So this bulldog can access the name and age from the parent class. Okay, now we will have the same function barking. Okay, and like we can inherit the features also and we can give some new features also to the child. Okay, so like what is happening here, the child class is able to inherit name and age from the dog class, and we are assigning a color feature also to this dog, right? Now when we create the object, okay, now what is happening, we are creating an object of bulldog, and what we are doing, we are passing name here, age here and color here, right? And so when we will be calling this my bulldog dot bark, then what will happen, what we have here, so we are passing name, age and color here, and in our like parent function we will be passing the name and age using super. Okay, so super is used to inherit the parent class attributes. Now we are passing the name, age and color, and we are calling this function my bulldog dot bark. Okay, so when we are creating an object of bulldog, okay, then this bark will be called. We need to be clear about this. So when we are creating the object of a child class, then the function in the child class will only be called. Okay, so what will happen, we will be, when we are calling this bark function using the object of child class, then spike the bulldog is barking will be printed. Okay, so this function is called and this value will get printed. Now what we have done here, we are using the we have created an object here, right? So we can, after creating an object, we can access the name from there, we can access the color from there, we can access the age from there. Okay, so once you have created the object, these variables that we are using, you can use them by using dot, or yeah, you can use them by using dot. Okay, so out of this function also you can access these attributes by specifying that you want to use that from the child class. Okay, so what is happening here, we are calling the bulldog object and we are trying to print the name. So what will be printed, we have passed spike here, right? So in our object we have created use name as spike, age as 4, and color is brown. So it will be printing Spike is brown. Okay. So let's say if we had created a like object of dog class, okay, then the like if specifically only the dog class object was created, then we would have been able to access this function. Okay, but now specifically we are trying to access the function from like the child class. Therefore this is getting printed, and when we are using that object to access the name, age and color, we will be able to print the name and the color like this. Okay, so this is about inheritance. So in short and concise way, what is inheritance? The attributes or the property or the features of the parent can be inherited by the child class, and it can have some its own new features also, right? So this is it about inheritance. Now we will see what is encapsulation. Okay, so encapsulation basically is the wrapping of all the data together. Okay, so what happens in encapsulation is, like we have a function here, a class here. Okay, so what we are doing, first we are like creating a constructor, and we are initializing radius there. Okay, so what will happen now? We have created a protected attribute. Okay, so what is a protected attribute? In other languages, while you are creating a protected variable or protected function, then you will have to use protected keyword. But in Python, you will have a single underscore, and you will be able to create protected attribute. Okay, so now what I am doing here, I am creating a protected variable, right? And we are initializing it with our radius. Now in order to access it, okay, means we have our radius, and I can use this same radius here also. So what happens in encapsulation is, your data can be used inside the same class. Okay, so what we are doing here, our data means data, what data, variable and method, everything will be wrapped together into a single unit. Okay, so here what is happening, we have created a radius and it is protected. Now when I pass self here, okay, so I will be able to use self dot underscore radius here also. Okay, so in short, what is encapsulation? We wrap up the entire method and data into a single unit. Okay, and like this protected data that we are using, it will be limited to the use in this class only. If you try to use this protected data outside in another, like in other class, it will not be, like you cannot use it, right? Means if you are trying to inherit this is as a property in another class, then you won't be able to do that. So what is encapsulation? All the entire data, method, everything will be wrapped together into a single unit. Okay, so this is about encapsulation. Now we will see polymorphism. So before moving on with polymorphism, I want to like share this, that polymorphism in other language includes method overloading also. Like you will be able means, let's say we have a function here, right? We have make sound here, right? So in other languages, what you can do, you can create a function, and by changing the number of parameters, you can implement method overloading, and in that way you will be able to implement polymorphism. Okay, but since Python is a dynamically typed language, so you won't be able to implement like that traditional polymorphism using method overloading. Okay, so first of all, now we need to know what is polymorphism, right? So polymorphism means you can use the same like you can use same variable name, or you can use same function name for performing different kind of operations, right? So let's say we have used make sound here. Now what I am doing, I am like using this make sound in cat also, in dog also, right? But in my dog class, this make sound is printing woof, means it is printing the sound made by the dog, and in cat class it is printing the sound made by a cat, right? So the same function is means is printing different output, and like the same function can be used for performing means different task, right? Now we in this, like we have here for functions we have operator overloading also. So like um, we have plus symbol, right? Add symbol. So we can use this plus to add also and concatenate strings also, right? Although we are adding in both, but the word means but the operation that we are performing are different, right? At one place we are trying to add two numbers, and at the other place we are trying to combine two strings, right? So one operator is only performing like two different tasks. So in this way we can implement polymorphism for operators also. Okay, so this is one basic example. Okay, now in like we were discussing about polymorphism in Python, right? So different classes will have the same function name, but they will be used to perform the same task, but in a different way, right? Here, what we are using, we are printing sound only, but for different class, it is performing the same task in different way. Here, we know the dog can bark, okay, but the cat meows, right? They both have are printing the sound, but the sound that they are printing is different, right? So let's see how do we use polymorphism here. Now what we have done here, we have created a function named animal sound. Okay, now we are passing the animal from here. Okay, before that, first we will see that what is happening here. We have created two classes and both have a function called make sound. Okay, now we are creating object of that, right? My dog is the object for dog class and my cat is the object for cat class. Now what we are doing, we are creating a function called animal sound in which we will be passing this object. Okay, so that we will be means we will be able to use the same function for calling two different functions, right? Means once I am assigning animal sound with my dog, okay, which means I am calling animal sound and I am passing my dog here. So when I do my dog dot make sound, then it will print woof, right? And when I am calling calling animal sound with my cat, right? Then what will happen? It will pass here my cat and it will become my cat dot make sound. So it will print meow there, right? So we are using one function to call to invoke two different function using two different objects, right? So basically poly means more than one, right? So we are using more than one function, we are performing more than one operation using the same function name or using the same variable or same object. Okay, so here what we are doing, this is kind of a way, means we are creating an object here, right? And we are passing those in our function and using that object. Here we have single object only, like we are passing animal and it is a variable, right? So every time we change it with different object, but the function we are calling is same, make sound, right? I hope you are getting it. Now we will try to code these problems. Okay, I will show you how what is printed. Okay, now so let's move on to the code editor and we will see the final what is printed there. Okay, so let me copy this. So now we will run this program. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, I need to listen to comments. Let's run it now. So I am able to print Spike the bulldog is barking loudly. Now I am able to access this name here, right? And if I want to use this color here, okay. So what I can do here, Spike. If we are printing Spike the bulldog, okay. So I am printing the color also. Now let's say I want to like we have accessed the name here, right? Means name of the bulldog, and we are printing the color. Now let's say I create a function of this parent class. Okay, we will create the function of parent class my dog. I can pass only two parameters there, right? So I will be passing spike and let's say 5. Now when I call the bark function there, then let's see what is printed. Let's run it. So spike is barking, right? We were calling the function dot bark, and when we are creating the like object of a parent class, then we will be accessing this function only and not the child class function. Okay, so I just wanted to differentiate that. Okay, so I will be uploading these example codes on my GitHub. You can access those from there and try solving a few more codes on these topics, so you will be able to understand what is going on. Okay, so let's run the code for encapsulation also. So okay, I will try to print it here instead of returning it. So good. The problem was that we were trying to pass the like arguments in the function, but this function is not it is not getting any arguments, right? It is just inheriting the value, or it is just using the radius which is initialized in the constructor. So we need to pass the radius in the constructor using the creating the object of the class, right? So we will call this function now. Okay, we will pass the radius. So we can see that we are getting a required answer. So this was for encapsulation. Now we will see polymorphism. So let's run this code now. So we are using the same function to print woof and meow, right? Now in the same way, if I create one more class and one more object is created, and yeah, when I will pass it using this function, then we will get one more sound but for different animal, right? So this is the basic implementation of polymorphism. Now today we have discussed three important OOPS concepts, which are encapsulation, polymorphism, and inheritance. Okay, so today we discuss three important topics of OOPS concept, right? Which were data encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. We will be seeing data abstraction in the next video, as it is kind of very important topic and we need to have an extensive idea about it. Okay, so we will be discussing that in a new video. So let's meet tomorrow again, and we will be discussing data abstraction. Now if you have any doubts, please let me know in the comments about that. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments, and if you want to continue with me in this coding journey, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you will be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you for watching.